G'day, groovers. Welcome to the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. I'm just loading up Facebook because I'm going live on Facebook as well as on YouTube. Just refreshing the Facebook page. Live now, cool, and I'll just mute it. Hey, Deb. Thank you, gorgeous. Good to see you. Good to see you over on Facebook. I will try to jump backwards and forwards between YouTube and Facebook. Unfortunately, the Facebook comments don't come up on my YouTube channel, so I won't be ignoring you on Facebook, but what I will do, oh, hang on, I'll just put the camera on too. Look at my little logo, the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. Biscuit is already famous, and now she's a logo. Hello. Oh, I'm a bit low down. Hello, I feel like Mummy Ramblings blog for those of you who follow YouTube channels. I'm just going to grab the YouTube link and drop it over onto Facebook. If anyone wants to come over this way, you are more than welcome to. It'd be good to have you on YouTube so I don't miss any of your comments. But if you're happy to stay over on, I'm going to pin that comment on Facebook too. If you're happy to stay on Facebook, that is fine as well. It's entirely up to you. Hey, John X, good to see you, Groover. So if you click that link, if you've got a Gmail account, you can come straight over to YouTube. If you want to participate in chat, it'll say create a channel. Seriously, it takes 3 seconds, 5 seconds max. Super easy. And over on YouTube, hey, Claire Bear. Hi, Ruth. Hey, Francesca. Shalom, Ian Ellis LLC. Good to see you, Groovers. My comments on Facebook show up, but no one else's do, which sucks. Oh, Deb Bat, thank you for the compliment, darling girl. She's telling me I look great. Thanks for that. Haven't cooked. Hey, Twiggy, welcome. Haven't cooked in the Shitty Kitty Kitchen for a while, so I came up with a concept that I've wanted to do for a long time. It's a bit similar to the movie Julie and Julia, but I'm basically going to cook the book. Bit of a play on words there, like cooking the books, but it's cook the book. So I'm going to actually cook through an entire cookbook. Now, I haven't actually got permission from this chef yet, but hopefully he'll be fine when I finally get around to sending him an email. But at the moment, I'm only cooking one thing. So I figured if I'm going to do a recipe book that I've got, and my house is full of books. Most people want a library for novels and, you know, historical books and all that sort of stuff. I want a library for all my cookbooks. But I thought I'd go with a chef that I love. And a lot of his stuff is actually quite complex. But last year he put out a book called Simple, which is basically inviting everyone who can do basic cooking into the world of yotamottolenghi. And as much as I'd love to like cook Jerusalem, which is one of his books, they're pretty full on and require a lot of ingredients, and they're beautiful meals that I cook when I have people over to visit. But his book Simple is everyday stuff, and quite often it's things that you've got in your pantry and your fridge already. So the plan is to cook the book, and every time I cook from this book, I'm going to go live or I'll do a little video. I'm even thinking of maybe starting a Shitty Kitty Kitchen channel on YouTube. I'm happy for it to stay on my channel because I do a bit of everything on my channel. But if anyone thinks I should start a separate channel just for my cooking. And we're starting off with something really simple today, guys. So this is the book. Simple. Yotam's Middle Eastern, and he cooks the most incredible, beautiful food that I love. But he listened to his fans who said that a lot of his recipes were very complicated, time-consuming, and used a lot of ingredients. Oh, hey there, Deb. You've moved over here. Welcome, Groover. Yeah, he is so damn sexy. And she's put what a waste because he's gay. I agree. But, you know, whatever. He's a blessing to the planet. So, yeah, up on that shelf above me is my Yotam shelf, as I call it. I've got, I think I've got all of his books now. So the recent one that I got of his is called Flavor, which I would also like to cook through. That's an interesting one. It goes through all the different veggies in alphabetical order, and he does dishes for all of them. But Yotam also does a lot of vegetarian cooking, and I've been asked before on this channel if I could do more vegetarian stuff. So I am doing a dish that is vegetarian, but in good Yotam style. He's like, hey, if you want to jazz it up a bit, you can. And so I am going to be adding bacon. But I'm keto. Bacon's like life for us. So I will be garnishing the soup with some bacon. But for people that are watching who are vegetarian and vegan, you can make this too. And yeah, so today we're doing, I'm basically going to be doing, the reason I'm cooking the book too is I cook seasonal, I buy seasonal. So he will have recipes in here that aren't seasonal at the moment. So there's no point me trying to go from cover to cover. I happened to buy some zucchini the other day, or courgette, as some of you would call them. They're looking a bit sad. They're still fine, but need to be cooked. But I ended up going out to dinner with some friends that night, so I didn't cook them. So I chose for tonight, or today, we're going to do a zucchini, pea, and basil soup. Woohoo! And it'll really just be me chatting to you guys in chat a lot, because soup, you know, most of the time it's just cooking in a pot on the stove, right? And also good day again to everyone over on Facebook. Feel free to click that pinned link. It'll bring you over to YouTube, and I won't miss your comments if you come over here. So let's get the stool out of the way. So the concept behind Yotam's book is it's called Simple because the letters in Simple all stand for something. Now, what I was going to suggest, there's a lot of trying to get my camera to focus. There's a lot of online places you can buy books now really cheaply. And I was going to suggest if anyone's got this book in future, if I know I'm going to be cooking something, I'll set up the live. If you're on YouTube, you'll see that it's coming up. It'll give you the page number and the recipe that we're doing. So if you want to run out and get all the ingredients and cook along with me, you're more than welcome to. I thought that'd be heaps of fun. So I will actually be possibly increasing some of Yotam's sales by doing this. So Simple, every letter in Simple has a meaning. So S is short on time. Ingredients is that there's 10 or less ingredients. M means you can make it ahead. P is that it's things that you'll have in your pantry. L is lazy, if you're feeling a bit lazy. And E is easier than you think. And then every recipe, like the one we're doing today, the soup, so that one's got an S, an I, and an M. So it's short on time, it's using 10 or less ingredients, and you can also make it ahead of time. So that's what that all means. Pretty cool. And what else was I going to say? So yeah, in future I'll set up a live. I'll put the page number. I am a seasonal cook, so I will always be cooking whatever you can easily get. If you go down to your farmer's market, when things are in season, you can quite often get boxes of things super cheap as well. So we'll be doing that. And the other thing is, I know soups are considered a bit basic. People find soups really basic, but soups are so good for you because they're already blended up, so they're really easy to digest. A lot of diets will include soups for that reason. They're a great snack, and you know, you can have like a mug of soup in the afternoon if you're getting a bit sluggish at work. They're a lovely lunch to take as well. So that's why we're, well, A, I've got some zucchini I want to use up, and B, I love soups. And it's a sunny afternoon now. There's a lot of sun coming into my kitchen, but it was quite a cold day. So soup is the thing that I want for dinner. And we might get on with it unless there was something else I wanted to say. I've forgotten. Anywho, that's the plan. So go out and grab yotamottolenghi Simple. Trust me, if you discover the world of Yotam's food and you can make his food, it's going to blow your mind. It'll change your life. We'll be doing heaps of veggie dishes. Like I said, I'll do a lot. He does write a lot of vegetarian recipes, but there's always tips on how you can zhuzh things up. Oh, that was what I was going to say. His recipe is for 8 servings. I'm actually halving it, not because I don't want 8 servings. I would have made 8, but he suggests 6 zucchini courgettes. I've only got 3 and a bit. So what he also suggests, if you don't want to go vegetarian, there are some little shifts you can make, or if you want to make it a heartier soup, if you use chicken stock, if you're not vegetarian obviously or vegan, if you use chicken stock instead of vegetable stock, it does make it a heartier soup. So if you want it to be a really like hearty dinner and you're not eating bread and stuff with it, and also I'm going to make it even heartier by adding some crispy bacon on top and some crumbled feta cheese. He does give different ideas for garnishes and so on. And he suggests pan-fried cubes of ham or pancetta. And the idea is to not overcook this because it's a green soup. A lot of people might have tried green soups and they end up being a bit of they remind you of the Brussels sprouts your mum cooked you as a kid. If you don't cook it for too long, it will keep that beautiful, vibrant green colour. And we're going into spring. We're in spring in Australia. This is the time we should be really hoeing into lots of leafy greens and green veggies. So it's kind of apt that we're doing peas and zucchini. Peas are not keto. I don't give a fuck. It's yotamottolenghi groovers. I'm going to pop over to Facebook one more time and just see if anyone's chatting over there. But it looks like if they're there, they're just watching. There's a couple of people watching, but they're not chatting. Feel free to come over to YouTube, groovers, and welcome to the new people on my channel. People like Deb, who's new, if you want to subscribe to my channel, you'll get notifications for all the things I do. In fact, I've got 2 more lives on YouTube today. At 7 p.m, I'm talking about the mandatory media bargaining code, a bit different to cooking in the shitty kitty kitchen, with special guest Finn Bugden. We're going to be chatting about a few more elements of that. So if you're interested in the ACCC's proposed media bargaining code, tune in for that. And then a bit later on tonight, I'm going to potentially do some live scam baiting, and I've got a new scammer. So for those of you who know that I like doing a bit of scam baiting, you'll know what that's all about. So firstly, we're going to get the saucepan now because I'm doing half the quantity. I'm not using my gigantic soup pot. We're going to get that cranked. Because I'm only doing half the recipe, he actually says for his recipe with 6 zucchini to use an entire head of garlic, but I'm halving it, so I'm just using half a head of garlic. So it's going to have a lot of garlic, yum flavour, and I'll get on with prepping the garlic because that'll take a little while. I'm just peeling all of the cloves at the moment. But seriously, if you get into this book, if you're not already, and you start cooking his stuff, you'll gradually work up to books like Plenty More, Jerusalem. I'm not sponsored by Yotam either, by the way. It's just my favorite food. It's fresh, seasonal, and so tasty. All the Middle Eastern spices. It's just my favorite cuisine, and it's beautiful banquet food, like when share food, you know. If you're having people over, I love having big platters of things that just get spread along the table that everyone can help themselves and have as much or as little as they want. And sort of, you know, everyone just literally communes around the table together. I love that style of entertaining. Oh, do you like my new 10 Lives apron? Oh, za'atar's gorgeous. In fact, I've got some za'atar, and it's Yotam's recipe. A friend of mine made it for me. I've got a beautiful jar of za'atar, which I haven't cracked yet, that a friend of mine made. I think putting za'atar on this, the green and the red, it'd end up making it a really ugly brown. But yeah, za'atar is fabulous. And along the way, while we cook the book, he does give you recipes for things like za'atar and other sauces and relishes and so on. So we'll make a lot of that stuff as well. But za'atar is delicious. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up, groovers. Yeah, Ruth is saying, Facebook, come over and join us on the YouTubes. There's a pinned comment of mine that's a direct link to the channel. And it must work because the lovely Deb's here. Oh, shit, Deb, you've had a... Well, you might have to come and watch the live scam baiting and maybe even jump up on panels. Scam baiters engage with them and waste their time and get information out of them to pass on to the ACCC. But also I try to make it really entertaining. There's a lot of songs and song lyrics and all kinds of stuff. I figure if I'm wasting their time, it's time that they're not spending on someone innocent who might fall for it, but also getting that information out of them is really good to pass on, but also we have a lot of fun doing it. So I've got, from half a head of garlic, I've got one really big fuck off clove, and I've got 7 cloves. So it's going to have a lot of garlic. Yeah, I hope it ended too, Deb. What happened? Tell us your story. Deb and I met. Deb's a real life friend, not that you guys on YouTube aren't, but Deb and I met at a health and wellness retreat called Golden Door, and we've stayed in touch. How long ago was that, Deb, now? Was that 4 years? Was that how long ago when we met? God, we had fun. We were naughty. We were in the naughty group. All right. Hey, Biscuit, we're cooking in your kitchen. So that pot should be nice and warmed up now. For those of you who know how I cook, I do guess some things. If you were doing his recipe, he says to use 75 mils if you're doing the 6 zucchini. I've got 3 and a tiny bit of zucchini, so I did like 55 mils maybe, a couple of tablespoons, a bit more, 2.5 tablespoons of oil. We're going for a medium-high heat. So I'll just crank that fucker up a little bit more. And I'll just chuck one of the garlic cloves in. I know I should probably every now and then show you what's happening down here, but I mean, I just peeled some garlic. Oh, there's so much sunshine coming in my window. There you go, guys. Just so you can see. Fuck. Where did that go? We're professional around here, aren't we, Biscuit? So we're just going to whack the garlic in as whole cloves. You don't need to cut them up or do anything terribly. I'm just going to move Biscuit's bowls out of the way. You don't have to mince them or slice them or anything. But he says just to give them a bit of a fry for about 2 to 3 minutes, stirring frequently until they tell. Oh, shit, I haven't done the courgette yet. Hang on. I'm just going to mass chop up these zucchini. He's saying sort of 3 centimetre thick slices. This kind of size is what I'm going with. This is all going to get blended anyway, so you don't have to be precious, groovers. I'll just give that a stir. Oh my God, they're goldening up really quickly. I don't prep in advance. This is, well, some things I do, but this is live cooking at its finest. I don't have a producer who's already prepped everything for me. Oh, they're super golden. Never cooked garlic like this before. One more zucchini, and then we're going to chuck all the zucchini in. It's cooking under pressure. No, it's fun. As long as the garlic doesn't go black. It's meant to be golden, but we're nearly there. Okay. So I've rapidly sliced up all the zucchini, and we're going to chuck it in the pot too. Oh, yum, that garlic smells amazing. but popcorn. The stirring we do when you're not doing a stir. Yeah, I'm always in the naughty group. And even if you make soups a lot, it's fun to try different styles. We're going to be adding a shitload of salt. And some pepper. So the zucchini is getting a bit of brown on it too. Like it's getting a little bit brown. So it's going to give it a bit of a, I mean, it's not roasted obviously, but it's going to give it a little bit of caramelization, a bit of a roasty sort of flavour. Because zucchini's got a lot of water in it, there's not actually a lot of stock that goes into this recipe because a lot of liquid will come out of the zucchini. A little bit messy in the kitchen today. Don't worry, the end result will be magical. And you want that to basically cook till it's browning, which mine is. So I'm actually going to add the stock. If you'd use 6 zucchini, you do a litre. If you're using 3 like I am, it's only half a litre of stock. I make my own chicken stock and I freeze it in 1 and 2 cup bundles. But I'm using chicken because that's what I've made. But if you wanted this to be a vegetarian, vegan, go for the vegetable stock, it's fine. But like Yotam said, the chicken stock will make it a lot more hearty, I guess. Or he says slightly heartier. Sorry, I embellished him a little bit. We're also going to add 250 mils of water to it. So a cup of water is what I'm doing because I'm halving the recipe. If you were doing, oh wait a minute, I'll just check. Yeah, if you were doing his full recipe with the 6 zucchini, you'd do 2 cups of water. And we'll just mix that all up. I'll show you a bit of it. I'm not really good at showing what I'm doing. I used to have the camera over here and to show the hot plates off, but it was really weird because like my head was cut off and it all just looked a bit strange. But I'll just put the camera down onto this just so that you can see that sort of caramelization that's happened on the zucchini. Probably won't do that again because it's quite heavy. And if I drop that pot of zucchini soup on my laptop, I'd cry 1,000 days. How's everyone doing in chat? Yeah, it is, and it's fun. It is fun doing. Yeah, I got to the garlic just in time, Deb. It was at that turning point. I should have read. I should really start to read recipes. I like surprises, and that even happens when I cook. I like to yeah, cook as I go, but I think when I go live, I probably should read the recipe first just so that I know what I do need to have ready to go. But the cloves of garlic, we'll see if I can find one. We're bringing this to the boil, by the way. Oh, garlic. Where the fuck are you? Huh. I'm giving up. But anyway, we're going to bring that to the boil so you can crank the heat up to a high setting. Once it's boiling, we're going to simmer it for 7 minutes, and that'll basically cook the zucchini. But like Yotam says, keep an eye on it because you don't want to lose that beautiful colour. So if it's been cooking for 5 minutes and it's softened and it's still that beautiful green, then stop cooking it. Don't feel like you've got to cook it. And because I'm only using half the amount, this could, I know that logic would say it'll be the same, but it won't. It could be a bit quicker because there'll be more water and whatever. But if you cook the full recipe, but as soon as that gets up to boiling, he says to leave it on boil. So we'll just keep an eye on it because I don't want it to lose its colour. It was love at first sight. You're a dag. It's going to have a swig of my drink, which I stupidly put on my counter in the sunny spot, so now it's warm. But this is that yummy electrolyte water I got in my subscription box the other day. It's beautiful. It's still warm so it's still cold inside, but the bottle's a bit warm on the outside. Healthy and easy. So while that's happening, and it is on the boil now, hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, and that's starting now.
Thank you. I have to use a timer when I'm cooking because I forget. I'll start chatting at chat, and then the next thing, that'll all be completely bad. So what I'm going to do is I've got to call the plumber tomorrow. I've got a little leak happening under my sink, and as much as I'd like to YouTube it and fix it myself, I'm like, nah. You don't fuck around with plumbing. So I'm just going to cut up some bacon, which I took out of the freezer and let it defrost, because I'm going to pan fry it and make crispy bacon to go on top as a garnish. I've got 4 slices of bacon, the round, whatever that is. And I'm just going to do it in little strips. And I'm going to cook the whole lot up because I'll keep garnishing this soup for the next. I'll definitely be having this soup tomorrow, probably for lunch. And you can just sprinkle the pre-cooked bacon on top. It's rare for me to freeze soup because I love it so much. But if I do have any left over and I freeze it, if there's any remaining bacon, I'll chuck it in as well before I freeze it. He says you can make this up to 3 days in advance of actually eating it, as long as you keep it in the fridge, and it'll last in your freezer for a month. So that's kind of cool. It's already pretty soft. I mean, it's not, it's probably halfway there, but I really do like my veggies to have a bit of crunch, and that translates across even to when I'm making soups. Hey, Josh, another groover who's travelled over from Facebook land, and hi to anyone who is still watching on you love the Cascade Blue KitchenAid. It's a bit brighter than the Cascade Blue, but yeah, good point. G'day from sunny Queensland. Well, we had typical Tassie winter. We've got snow happening in the Midlands and all sorts of shit at the moment. So this is my new apron. It's from 10 Lives, which is where I rescued Biscuit from. And when I went to the opening of the op shop the other night, they were walking around with these on, and I was like, I really want to buy one of those aprons. So anyone in Tassie who's looking for a pet, 10 Lives are great. Just going to turn on the other element because I'm going to get this bacon pan fried as a little garnish. The other thing I'm going to do, it does say basil in the recipe. I didn't have any basil, and I wasn't going to go out to the shops just for a bunch of basil. I don't have any basil growing, but I did have a little bit of parsley. It's gone a bit yellow around the outside of the bunch. But I do have a bit of parsley to use up, so I'm just using parsley because, you know, use up your herbs, right? But if you've got dried basil, you could use that. I don't have it. I I just thought I'll just use up the parsley. So I think the basil would be next level delicious. But I'm just adding parsley instead. It'll still add a nice herby flavour to it. Sitting by the pool with a rum. Get fucked. Yeah, whatever, Josh. You enjoy Queensland, all those strange people. We'll keep Tassie alive for you for when you move back. No, I enjoy it, mate. It's great. I'm glad you're happy up there. We don't miss you. Josh gets my sense of humour. Don't freak out, everyone. He's one of my dad's 20 godsons. All right, I'm happy with the zouk where it is. I know I asked Google to remind me in 5 minutes, but she can get fucked. I can already see that it's not changing colour yet, but it's cooked. So we're going to whack, I'm going to whack a cup of frozen peas into the mix now. And you could use fresh if you want, but this is the whole point of simple is that, thank you, shut up, stop. You can use fresh if you want to, but the whole point of simple is it's things that you'll have in your fridge and freezer. So you don't have to go crazy and do a massive shop. And we're just going to let that cook for about another minute, just to let the peas soften a bit. Peas don't need a long, frozen peas don't need a long time in water. What you really should do is boil water and, have a jug of cold water, pop them in boiling water for a minute and then blanch them. That's all they need. Oh, was that a clove? Yeah. Here you go, Deb, just so you can see. In fact, a lot of the caramelizations come off it now, but yeah, they weren't burnt to a crisp. So about a minute, and then if you were using basil, you'd chuck it in now, but I'm using parsley, like I said, so that's going in. Mix that all through. And then take it off the heat. Speaking of heat, let's chuck the bacon on. Pan's nice and hot now. Look, if you use Le Creuset frying pans, don't ever, if it says to do it on a higher heat, don't ever turn the element up to high. It'll charcoal the fuck out of whatever you're cooking in it. But also give them a chance to heat up because they are cast iron. They take a little bit longer. So that's going to be our little crispy bacon garnish. I didn't put anything in the pan. That pan's quite seasoned anyway. But we'll just crisp up some bacon to put on top. I'm just going to put the peas back in the freezer. In case I have an ankle injury and I need to deal with that down the track. There will be a little bit of noise pollution. I'm so sorry, guys. But I do need to blitz the fuck out of this. And hopefully it's not overcooked and it'll be a vibrant, bright green. And you'll all be like, oh, maize balls. Okay. So sorry about the noise pollution. It won't be very long, though. Quite a runny soup. I probably would have maybe not added the cup of water, or maybe put a half a cup. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to love it, but I do like I don't like a soup that's so thick that your spoon stands up in it, but I don't like it so runny that you could drink it with a straw. I'm sort of in the middle. How many peas? That was a cup of frozen peas that I put in. So it's 250 grams. If you did the 6 zucchini, you'd put 2 cups in. It smells amazing. The most prominent smell I'm getting, if I'd used basil, it would have been basil, but the most prominent smell is actually the peas. It smells great. But this is why I love soups, because like Yotam said, you can make this days in advance. So people that do meal prepping, I'm pretty sure that they would be doing at least 1, maybe 2 soups a week, because you could make this, if you do your big cook-ups on Sundays, you could make your soup and you can have it in the fridge for up to 3 days, and then you can also freeze it for a month. So, you know, it's nice, especially in winter. It's really nice to come home in the dark, cold weather in Tassie, and you know that you've got soup that it'll take seconds to heat it up on the stove, or if you use a microwave, in the microwave. You know, and if you eat bread, you could pick up fresh bread from a bakery near where you work or on the way home. Dinner sorted. And it's really good for you. And it's affordable. It's a great way to feed your family and get veggies into them. And it might take a few different soups to find the one that the kids will eat, I guess. I don't know. I don't have kids. But if you find a soup that they love, you're onto a winner. So that's blended. I'm doing the garnish, which I will be doing when I have my soup. Not quite yet. It's only 5 o'clock. It's almost biscuits dinner time. It's almost Bee's dinner time. I'll show you the soup. And what I'm actually going to do, he suggests to garnish it. Now, if you're vegetarian, vegan, here's the soup. On top of that, he suggests that you put some fresh lemon zest. This is a lemon from my my sister's tree. Have a look at it, the poor little munted thing. Look at it. But they end up being the most beautiful, delicious, like lemons, homegrown lemons. You can't beat them. The local shop where I live has wonky looking lemons as too. They're not all those picture perfect ones. I did slice the top off it just to check it was okay inside, because sometimes you can get a really dodgy one, especially because it's got a bit of crap going on its bum. But there's plenty of skin that I can do some fresh lemon zest. I'm also going to be adding some crispy bacon and some feta. I'm just going to crumble feta cheese over the top. That's what he suggests. In fact, I'll show you his picture of it. Hey, Mary, good to see you. So from his cookbook, there's 3 soups, but the one we've just made is the one at the top. So he's garnished it, in this photo, he's garnished it with some lemon zest and some feta. And it looks like maybe some basil oil has been dribbled around the top too, or it might just be a little bit of olive oil. I've got some macadamia oil that I love to drizzle around soups, but I've also got, where is it? It's hiding. Oh, I've got so many oils. I brought cooking oils back from Hawaii. My Hawaiian friend brought me more. Somewhere in my pantry, I've got avocado oil. But I might actually add, I love doing a drizzle of oil. I'll probably add some of this. This is a macadamia chili oil that I love. So I'll probably give that a bit of a as well. I'll show you the soup. And And that'll be it. And if you do have Yotam's book, it's on page 53. It's courgette, pea, and basil soup. I've made zucchini, pea, and parsley soup. I'll find a jug or something I can show you the soup. Here we go. I'll use a little jar. And then I'll give you a taste test as well. It's quite runny. It's not a super thick soup, but you can completely adjust soup to how you like it. You can take out liquid, experiment it with first. I'll probably put a note to say don't add the extra water, but I'm hoping that looks quite creamy in that jar, but it's not. It's quite bright green. I don't know how I can make the color more vibrant. It looks really pale I can see on the screen. In real life, it is still really beautiful, bright green. I promise you. It's the one thing about this camera that sucks with cooking. It just doesn't show how pretty some of the food actually is, because that looks like it's almost creamy to me. But in the flesh, it looks a bit like a green gazpacho. So there's bits of parsley that are still not whole, but they're not completely gone in the soup, if that makes sense. Oh, Christ, take me off the big telly. Doesn't need anything else. I'd put more pepper on. I wouldn't put any more salt because I'm using feta to garnish it and bacon. I definitely would put some more cracked pepper on it, but this is really yummy. The garlic is amazing. That's delicious. Isn't it, Biscuit? See, Biscuit agrees. That's really, really good. So I'd put this a bit later on. I'm going to pop it in a bowl. I'm going to drizzle some macadamia chili oil around it. I'm going to put crumbled feta and bacon on top and some fresh lemon zest. Delish. But although it's not quite my dinner time, it's Biscuit's dinner time. Danish feta is yum. I love all feta. This is actually just a feta. It's a Mediterranean style one, but I'll eat any feta I can get my hands on. That's what I happen to have in the fridge. See, Yotam's right. Things you've got in your fridge. But like I said, it's not dinner time for me, but it is time for Biscuit. And considering we're in the shitty kitty kitchen, she's the boss. So I'm going to get her so she can say goodbye to everyone. Come here, Bugs. Come here, Bugs. So from one shitty kitty to everyone out there, thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, kisses, thank you. She didn't scratch my face. She must like the smell of cooking bacon. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. That's the first recipe from Cook the Book. I'm going to cook Yotam's book, all of it. So in future, I will list that I'm going to go live. I'll let you know what recipe I'm going to be doing and what page it is on. So if you want to grab a copy of his book, I thoroughly recommend it. It's brilliant. And you can always jump up on panel and hang out. I can have up to 10 people on my channel at one time. We could all be cooking together. Don't you fat shame her, Deb. She's half the size when she was surrendered. She was 12 kilos. She's only 6 now. Aren't you? Aren't you, Deb, fat shamed you? She's not happy with you, Deb. But stay groovy, everyone. I will be live again at 7 p.m. talking about something quite serious, the mandatory media bargaining code with special guest Finn Bugden. And if you're up for a bit of live scam baiting later on, that'll be kicking off, I think, at 9. But thank you to everyone for hanging out in chat. Thank you to anyone that was watching over on Facebook. Thanks to everyone who migrated over. Hey, Carissa, over on Facebook. Thanks to the Facebook groovers. And yeah, to everyone who migrated over to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and also the notifications bell. Hit the solid one, and then you'll get notifications every time I go live. And YouTube is a great place to hang out. There's a lot of fun stuff happening over here. But thank you, everyone, for you like big pussies. Dab, dab, dab. Thanks for hanging out, groovers. Might see you a bit later on. And it's over and out from the Shitty Kitty Kitchen. See you all soon. Get the book, Yotamottolenghi. Simple. Love you guys.